Having a 1960s caravan means Having a 1960s caravan who's nearly 50, I have to think about a few extra things when it comes to getting it ready for winter. Now, when I say getting ready for winter, we are already in the end of January, and it's already been a pretty horrible winter with lots and lots and lots of rain. So, I'm a little bit late with this, but I thought I would just run through a few little things to think about when winterizing your caravan. Lots of people have a modern caravan and have to deal with many other different things, but there's a few tips that you still might find useful even if you have a modern caravan. And also, having a vintage caravan, there's lots of things you don't need to worry about, but there's lots of things you do. So it's a really wet, rainy day here today, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. You need to keep an eye on your caravan. And that means whether it's a modern caravan or an old caravan, you need to keep an eye on it. So you need to check on it. You need to keep an eye on the awning rails, keep an eye everywhere, and just check for any odd lumps, bumps in the woodwork, any protruding oddness in the walls, and also keep an eye out for any damp patches. There's lots of ways to help prevent that. Good things are when you get a sunny day, and I don't mean a warm day, but when you get a good day that it's not raining and it doesn't feel damp in the air, get the windows open in the caravan and get the air through. That's very important. Also, you can warm your caravan up periodically as well. So get a heater every now and again and just run it. This is great if you have your caravan nearby on your drive, etc. You can grab a coffee, warm up the oven, get a coffee made, sit out and read a book with a heater on for a couple of hours. Not even that long, but just get that heat back in there again. That's just going to help you stem off some possible problems. Also, cleaning. Before you're going to let your caravan sit, a lot of us are lucky that we can use our caravan over the winter, but some of us can't. So, before you let her sit there, give her a really good deep clean and strip her out. Now, when I say strip her out, I mean really strip her out. Things like your beautiful curtains, like these in 1970s fabric, the longer that they sit in the sun, the more they're going to get damaged. Also, if your caravan does get damp for any reason, these are going to soak up that dampness and then keep that dampness going through the air. So if possible, you want to remove any soft furnishings, cushions, bedding, duvets, seating, mattresses and curtains. Get those out of the caravan as well. Now obviously I've just told you to go sit in there and read a book, so maybe keep one or two things in there or close at hand that you can have a comfortable little read of a book or coffee in your van. So here is Daisy in January, still with all the things that I told you not to do, and there's a reason for that. We were meant to use our caravan at New Year's. We were very excited, we'd done it the year before, absolutely had a blast, loved it. But unfortunately, in the run-up, we had a lot of car trouble. A lot of depressing car trouble. And then my husband was really poorly, and the thought of dragging us all out in the snow to quite a faraway place to be in a field with a poorly husband and a possibly poorly car just sounded like a recipe for disaster. So Daisy sat for a lot longer than she should have sat for, with me thinking, oh, I'll stem off those jobs till after New Year's. Then we brought a Sprite Alpine, which needed a lot of work and who had sat for 20 years on her tyres. So we nicked Daisy's wheels off her, drove a very, very long way away, borrowing those wheels to bring the new caravan home. A sensible plan, but it meant that Daisy was up on bricks. Now, as much as I'm a bit of a thrill seeker, there was no way I was going to get in a caravan up on bricks. I just wasn't going to test the legs out that much. So she sat for some time on bricks. A little bit unloved, a little bit unclean, still with quite a few things from our previous holiday in there, and all her mattresses. So, what should you be doing to ensure your little beautiful old caravan gets through the winter okay? If you can use her, brilliant. Keep using her. That's the best way. Not only will you check possible problems quicker, you'll keep her warm, loved and used. We all want that, don't we? Next thing, like I said, remove any soft furnishings, give her a really good deep clean. Clean that oven out. You never know what you're going to find in there. My children love to use the oven as a little cubby hole for secret toys. So I have to check before using her. Also, go through all the cupboards, all the drawers, all the lockers. There's probably stuff you've forgotten about. I found quite an important thing in our tool locker that I'd been looking for a while. So, real deep clean. Think of it like renting out a house or moving. You want to really give them a deep clean. Try not to use too harsh chemicals inside the caravan if you're going to be leaving them for a while, and make sure that you do remove anything. You can pop an air freshener in there or something like that just to keep the air a little bit more sweet. Also, people will put in damp collectors. I've had really mixed reviews on damp collectors, some good, some bad. I think the best way is just open her up when you get the chance, keep her warm when you get the chance, take out that battery. There's lots of information online on the best way to keep your battery going. If she's on the drive, you can get in and check the battery without any problems. You can keep it trickle charged. If you have a solar panel, fantastic, that will keep the battery charged up for you. Also, big point, if you have a fridge, unlike me, I'm going to have to speak louder because it's getting really loud in here because it's really raining. If you have a fridge, unlike me, make sure you leave the door open. Prop it up, do whatever you need to leave it open, because trust me, you will be thankful in a couple of months of the fridge door closed with something in there that you forgot about. So, remove all the curtains, wash them, dry them fully, pack them away. Don't leave them in the van. This is also a really good point. If you have old original caravans, be very careful washing them. But it's also a good point that you can check for any tears, damage, anything that's going to need fixing. And that includes everything, even your pretty little tie backs that you've made, okay? Then the next point, and you can tell it's winter, it's because all the wood has shifted in the van. So you want to try and leave things in a way that it's not going to cause more warpness to happen. So I try and put all the cupboard doors away, try and close everything, or leave everything open to allow air to circulate into those lockers as well. Now you want to make sure, if you do, like me, have not many places that you can store your big, huge, taller than me, it's even taller than the roof, mattresses and seat covers, and you have to store them. Can you still hear me, guys? I was meant to be working underneath the new van today. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to see if I can just show you out the window. Yeah, I think the Sprite has to wait today. It's really coming down really hard now. Okay, so it's hailing. It's actually hailing. I'm just going to shut the door. Okay, hang on, look. Ah! It's really hailing now. I'm feeling a bit wet now. Hang on. Okay. Oh my goodness, I've left all my toolbox outside ready to work on the new van. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to be really quick. If you have to leave all your mattresses in the caravan, okay, I'm going to just lower this so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to faff about for a second. I do love the sound of rain on the caravan roof, but not when I'm meant to be working on the other caravan. Okay, so if you do have to leave your mattresses inside your caravan, don't mind me, this is my work coat ready to get on with the caravan. If you have to leave them in your caravan, first of all, take them off like this and lift them. Try to put as little of the mattresses onto the wall and don't leave them flat. This is because that is where moisture will trap in between them. And you can tell that I have children who've spilt all sorts of stuff on there, hence why they're going to be covered, or were going to be covered. You'll have to see my other video to find out what's happening with Daisy. So, don't want to leave the mattresses laid flat. Any removable covers, get them out and washed. And the reason why is that damp will trap underneath and it will go through the mattress, and you end up needing new mattresses, new beds, and damp will just become a real issue in your van. Don't think, no matter what precautions that you've taken, that your van will not get damp in horrendous downpours, being sat left with no heating in it. It will happen. So if you can, get them out, steam clean them, dry them fully, pop them in the loft or something. That's a brilliant way to do it. If you have to leave them in the van, make sure that as fewer edges as possible are on any surfaces. That way you will help keep the air circulating around the van. You can buy, and it was designed originally for boats, my mother-in-law told me about it, this special stuff that goes in between the base of the bunk and the mattress, and that stems off dampness and means that you quite often don't need to move them. Have a look into that if you're really stuck with the layout of your van of being able to get the mattresses out. But if not, just take those few precautions and it will really, really help. So, what else do you need to think about? I've just broken my stand. What else do you need to think about when winterizing your retro van? First, make sure everything is greased. Get the brakes off, check them, grease the bearings, do all of that kind of stuff. Service if possible. Also the legs, make sure that you've moved them every now and again and grease them all up. Do any painting work that needs doing, get rid of any rust, general upkeep and normal stuff. But winter can be a good time to get these things done, because it's not something that you always plan to do in the middle of summer. I'm out of breath running around, I'm so unfit. So, also, when it's pouring down with rain, don't really want to be under the caravan hammerating, do you? So pick your days well and pick your jobs well. What I try and do at 2 points during the year, I'll write a list of what needs to be done on the van. And it can be anything from I want to change the curtains to I need to finish covering stuff, need to put a bit of trim back on, all that kind of stuff. Do a list of, I'm just trying to fix my stand with my other hand. Do a list of everything that needs to be done during the winter period, and then that will just set you up really well for the next year of I've done all those jobs, and you can just tick them off. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else you need to do. Fix any leaks. Check out my leak video if you find an awning rail leak. Make sure you buy some creeping crack. Get that round any windows, skylights, awning rail, everything like that. Try not to leave big items like awnings, because they do trap dirt, and depth of winter is not a good time to get your awning out, brush off any dirt, give it a jet wash, that kind of thing. So you're running the risk, if you haven't done that at the end of the year, of that causing more damage. But try and get it out of the van if you can. It's difficult. As you know, I come from a long line of hoarders and my house is very full, so trying to store stuff for the caravan can be a bit of a pain. I find that clear boxes are really good. I have one just for caravan bits and bobs you forget about. I've tried to clear out all the tools and just see what I've got, what needs to be fixed and all that kind of jazz, and then they all go in a caravan box in the house. This means that when it comes to putting everything back in, I'm not looking around for something thinking, where on earth did I put that safely last year? Especially around Christmas when you're packing up stuff and you're clearing out and you're giving things away, you can easily lose something quite important. So make sure you've done maybe a list of what's to go in the caravan. And I have particular bedding that's just for the caravan, so that's all washed, put away in the clear box, so at the start of the season I can just grab that box, pop it in the caravan, or empty it into the caravan, use that box for something else. But definitely, if you can, take all the curtains down, all the pillows out, give the van a really good deep clean. That's a good point to start thinking about servicing, checking your gas lines. Have you got an empty gas bottle? You know, do a list ready for the start of the summer. With me and this particular caravan, I don't need to worry about electrics and checking all of those. I don't need to worry about heating systems and all that kind of jazz. But what I do need to really be thinking about is leaks. So, as you know, I fixed a really, not big leak, but a substantially enough leak that I panicked in Daisy. And as you can tell, the leak's fixed, but I haven't repainted. Mostly because I just need to go and buy some new paint, and it's on my list but it hasn't been done. So that's the kind of job that I'm going to get done, is get those last little bits finished off from where the leak was, of getting it painted. That's on my list. What's on your list? So, hope you all have a wonderful start to your caravanning season, whether that be that you've gone all the way through or you have packed down for winter. Most of the things you need to think about for winter are just sensible things. You know, is everything okay? Have I greased all the movable joints? Do the tyres need replacing? Check your tyres every year. Have a good look through them. If you can, get them off and have a look. Check that all the tread is wearing equally, all that kind of thing. Old caravans, you know, we're in a difficult situation with a lot of these things, is they don't legally need an MOT right now. So you need to be quite proactive at making sure your van is safe. And I don't just mean chucking it in for a service. Things can happen in between services. And older vans like this are really hard to get serviced because lots of places just don't understand them. And also will charge you the same amount for doing a modern caravan service, and you're like, but I don't have any electricity, and I don't have a heating system, and I don't have an aircon system, and I don't have electrics, and they're thinking, what? They don't necessarily understand them. You tend to find, if you want to get an old caravan like this serviced, you're going to have to find a more independent person that will come to your caravan rather than a big company. Does that make sense? So not only should you be looking for the perfect person to service your older van, you should be doing a lot of the work as well, and just making sure that she's fit for travel. Also, if you've got any big cupboards, if you can, leave them open, and if you can, pop an air freshener in there as well. Now these are quite a good way, when you feel them, of feeling if they're damp. And just get in there, air out your caravan as much as you can. Keep an eye on her. Don't leave her feeling unloved, even if they're miles away at a storage place. Get up there, air them out, have a good look, and strip out as much as you can. It's also a good thing for not leaving her rife for being pilfered and things taken. I'm lucky we live in a good area and I don't have to worry about that. But there you go. So that's my little quick thing on winterizing your caravan. I probably haven't covered half the things that you've thought about. So if there's anything else that you think of, pop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And keep in mind that mine's a nearly 50-year-old van, so there's a lot of things I don't need to worry about, but a few different things that I do. And I will have a think if there's anything else that I've missed. But in the meantime, I am so excited for the season. I cannot wait to get out of my caravan, which I'm sure you're all feeling the same way. And I've come in here today to make myself a coffee and just air her out, even though there was a downpour. I think it's stopped now, so I might be able to get under the other van. And I've really missed her. So here's to getting out in our caravans, here's to keeping safe on the road, here's for getting those little winter jobs done. And I will see you soon. Bye! Big love to you all.